Hello, welcome to Mary's Economics. I've decided to do a second video about the bedroom tax, basically because I made a bit of a mistake or a bit of an oversight in the first one that I did. And I'm annoyed with myself, and I know welfare rights advisors will be annoyed with me as well. And also, I just feel like I didn't quite get across, like, why is it unfair? What is the injustice about? Because since doing that video, I've had conversations with people about the formula for deciding, how many bedrooms you should have based on the ages and sexes of your children. And I get drawn into these conversations about whether or not it's reasonable for children to share a bedroom. And we talk about things like, okay, but children are individuals, they have personal preferences. Some of them like music on when they're falling asleep, and some of them like silence, and some of them like a nightlight on, and some of them like dark. And do you know what? All of that is actually beside the point. So, the first thing is that I need to correct what went wrong in my last video, something that I should have drawn more attention to and I didn't. So here is what I said. The thing is, you'll only get the 3-bedroom rent of LHA if you are deemed to need 3 bedrooms. You'll only get the 4-bedroom rate if you are deemed to need 4 bedrooms, and so on. And the thing is, Local Housing Allowance is capped at 4 bedrooms. So there is no 4 bedrooms and so on. If you have a large family, maybe you have a lot of extended family living with you, goodness knows it's harder than ever for young people to grow up and leave home. Families are staying together under one roof for longer. If your family is of a size that you need more than 4 bedrooms, it doesn't matter. The amount of help that you get towards your rent will be capped at the 4-bedroom rate. That is one of the most shocking drivers of poverty amongst larger families in the UK, and I forgot to mention it, so needed to correct that. Now, the other thing is, we are not talking about whether or not it's reasonable that children should share. That's not the point, because when you apply for benefits and they're working out how much help to give you towards your rent, they're not going to wave a wand and transport you to a different home that they think meets your requirements. So you're already in a home, you're already there. So picture yourself in a situation, right, where you are a single parent and you have 2 children. Say you have a 7-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl, and you now have to ask for help towards your rent, and they are going to say, well, the children should be sharing until the girl is 10. And you can go, well, she'll be 10 in 9 months. And then they'll go, yeah, okay, but for right now, you've got more bedrooms, so we're just gonna knock down the amount of help you get towards your rent, okay? No, there's no point moving. There's 3 massive reasons why there's no point moving. Reason number 1, it's enormously disruptive. Reason number 2, it's enormously expensive. Reason number 3, I mean, there's more than 3 reasons, but another reason is there just might not be anywhere to move to. But another reason is she's nearly 10, so you kind of may as well just hang in there, right? But another reason, and here's a massive reason, is just that it's not worth the difference. So this is what I didn't go into enough in my last video, is some actual figures. And the reason why I'm reluctant to do that is that LHA varies right across the UK. It's different in different local authorities. But I'll give you an example, for where I live, let me just check now, right, the difference between the 2-bedroom rate and the 3-bedroom rate is £11.50. It's £11.50 a week that you will just get shaved off. It's not, and so you're not gonna go to the effort of moving house, particularly if your kid is nearly 10, or even if they're not, are you going to go to the hassle of moving house because of £11.50 a week, right? And then for more context over the finances, let me tell you this, where I live, the 3-bedroom rate is £138.08 currently, right now. Now, that rate was set in April 2024, and it hasn't gone up, and there are no plans for it to go up. Rent can keep going up, right? Now, that works out at less than £600 a month. You are never going to find a 3-bedroom home around here for £600 a month. Let me tell you, right? So in 2021, I was very fortunate to rent a lovely 3-bedroom flat. And because I rented it through a friend, friends of the family, they were very kind and they gave me a rate that was less than letting agents had said they could rent it for. So they had been advised to rent it for £850 a month. I was very fortunate to get it for only £750 a month. Now, like, even if I was still living there now and, the rent there's £750 a month, and if I was claiming universal credit and if I was entitled to 3 bedrooms, I would only get £598 towards my rent. And then if they said I wasn't entitled to 3 bedrooms, I would get £126.58 a week towards my rent. So I'm not going to quibble about that. The thing is, like, I'm already having to find 150 quid a month to make up the shortfall. And now you're saying that because of the ages and sexes of my children, I'm going to have to, like, just manage with £11.50 less every week. It's just, this is why it's unfair, right? Because it's based on a formula. It doesn't relate to people's actual lives, and it doesn't relate to the real life circumstances in our society of whether housing is available, of whether enough bedrooms, a variety of accommodation with different numbers of bedrooms is available. And, these rules are made up by people sitting in a room going, oh yeah, that seems fair. Oh yeah, that sounds about right. And that's what we're all doing when we're discussing and debating whether kids of opposite sexes under 10 should share a room. That's not the point. The point is, it's just making poor families even poorer. It's just shaving money off the help that people are asking for. And there isn't an outcry about this. Why have we just accepted this? Like, the amount of whinging I hear about inheritance tax, like, absolutely dwarfs any comment I ever hear about the dreadful unfairness of bedroom tax. It makes me angry. I hope you're feeling angry too. Thank you for watching.